what's happening, folks? How we doing tonight?
Man, fucking tastic.
Sleepy.
I know we missed last week, boys, but last week was one of those weeks. We had the NFL draft, and everyone else had shows, and just didn't have time to recap. Didn't have time to go over stuff. Marcus, any chance before we get crazy? Anything on the numbers the week we last talked?
I'm gonna have let me
How was attendance?
type that up.
Just so we can get caught up real quick.
Let me type that up real quick for y'all. While y'all give me a little, I know we're talking this, but give me like your quick 60 per second thoughts of the NFL draft.
Mel Kiper was insufferable and annoying like he's always been.
I'm so sick of this Shador talk. I'm so sick of it. If he was good, he would have got drafted early.
It's funny how. No,
hold on, Jamie. You already talked. Jamie, hold on. You already talked. Jeremy's turn. Let's not talk over it. Let's not talk over it tonight.
You and I said, you watch. Nobody's going to want to deal with the Deion Sanders circus on the sideline, especially if his son's not starting and having to deal with it. And then he didn't get drafted until the morning he fired his dad as agent.
I think it's hilarious also that Deion wants to sit in on the meeting because my son doesn't sit in the back seat.
What are your thoughts, Marcus? And then I'll say what I think the real funny thing about all this is.
I think what shocked me the most was they graded the Saints draft class a D+.
I thought they did it. I don't think they did that bad, to be honest with you.
I gave them like a C+ or a B-. A D+, really?
Hey, I like that tackle pick in the first. Let me tell you something. You know why? Because they took a tackle in the first round. And let me tell you something. I know everybody says it's not sexy to take offensive linemen in the first round, but what's the one thing that's never changed? How are games won? In the trenches. Get your linemen first if you need them. Build through the trenches. Then go get your quarterback. That's what the Saints did.
Well, they needed a replacement for Ryan Ramczyk because he announced his retirement 2 or 3 days before the draft. So that was a smart getting Calvin Banks. But I was hearing jokes that, they wasn't supposed to pick Tyler Shough. They got kicked off the draft board and AI selected Tyler Shough for the Saints. I've heard all kind of stories and they made me laugh and cringe, but I was happy we got Shough.
You may not, you can hate Mickey Loomis, but the one thing you can't hate him for is he's always done a good job at making sure you get linemen early, though. That's the one thing he's done well is his tenure as GM.
Okay, so I don't know where you find attendance is at, but I got the results here. So even though we didn't pick for week 5, week 4, it was a 3-way tie for first. Me, Jamie, and Jeremy went 3-1, while Adam went 2-2. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. If we'd did some predictions for week 5, most likely I would have went. I would have went 2-2. I would have took the Stallions over the Showboats, and I'd have took the Renegades over the Defenders, and I would have been 2-2. Because I think now everyone's got to win. Now your Showboats finally got to win, so congrats. Welcome to the win column.
It feels good. It feels good. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know why Coral didn't start and
he's
why
hurt. He
got hurt.
Both him and Magoo are out, so Kate Cookus is the starter for the rest of the year now for Birmingham.
This could be very troubleful. This could be very troubling for the Stallions.
It is troubling.
And then this past weekend, Mr. Nakua, the wide receiver, got mad at a fan in the stand, jumped up and smacked the shit out of him. I think.
I love. Didn't you love when Dean Blandino had to explain why it wasn't a penalty? I thought
right.
that was hilarious.
It wasn't a player. It was on his way to the locker room type shit.
But that's what makes the UFL so cool. Is like they explain things that like that don't go on during a college or an NFL game.
So I said who I would have picked week 5. I know Adam would have won the first game. So I know he'd have took his showboats, but the other 3 games, who would you have taken between Panthers, Battlehawks, Defenders, Renegades, and the Roughnecks, Brahmas?
I would have taken the Battlehawks.
Okay, what about Defenders and Renegades?
This Max Dugan kid is pretty damn phenomenal for the quarterback for the Battlehawks. He should win Player of the Year. I don't have much more to say, but he's pretty damn phenomenal.
He can play. I'll tell you that.
Okay, what about Defenders and Renegades?
I would have taken the Snakes for sure.
And then Roughnecks and the Brahmas.
Well, looking at the score, you want to take the Roughnecks, but the way the Brahmas played the week before, I might have taken the Brahmas.
I think Peyton Parody is or Peyton Party. I think he could be a star in the making and only 28 years old. This is good exposure for him to take this job for Wade Phillips, especially even though it's a tough situation for him, but he just looks like the next Sean McVay type of, a young, good-looking type of coach who's smart guy,
Okay. Now,
glad Yoli and Matt Henry popped in. It's good to see you guys. Thank you.
Jamie, I know you'd have took your Defenders over the Renegades, but now what about the other 3 games? If we'd have had predictions, who you would have picked?
I would have said St. Louis over Michigan, and then I would have said the Brahmas actually over Houston, because like I said, Peyton Parody coming off his first win, and it seems like it's a new sense of direction, a younger direction, taking over for Wade Phillips, even though we hope Wade Phillips gets healthy, because he's a treasure in professional football. He's always been, whether it's the NFL or Spring League. Wade Phillips is a class act and an awesome dude.
So, all right, what about Showboats and the Stallions? Who you would have taken?
I would have said Birmingham, but you know what? I would have loved to be wrong about that, because the Showboats.
Is it mine? Hey, hold on. Am I the only one having internet problems? Or is it everyone?
Mine's
I haven't
good.
seen any problems.
Mine's good.
Oh, mine was spinning like crazy. That's why I was asking.
Okay, Jeremy. What about you, Jeremy? I know you'd have taken your Panthers over the Battlehawks.
Yeah, I would have, and I'd have been wrong. I really didn't get a chance to look at the schedule because I was streaming 18 hours of the draft. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get a chance to really look at it.
Yeah. Showboat Stallions. Who do you think you'd have took there? Probably because if I'm putting what the score would have been this week, which right now Adam would have won this week at 3-1, and me and Jamie would be tied 2-2 with the picks we'd have had this past week if we did predictions, and then that just leaves you to be like 3-1 or 2-2 or 1-3 because you took your Panthers and they lost to the Battlehawks.
I automatically would have the one loss. And what was the other games again?
Yeah, the Showboats and the Stallions, the Defenders and the Renegades, and the Roughnecks and the Brahmas.
I'd have been 2-2 because I wouldn't have picked the Showboats.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to say, though, that was a character gutsy win for the Showboats. Everything that's gone on, they could have easily threw in the towel, and they didn't.
Listen, Turner is finally showing why he was a line coach, and they fucking ran the ball like crazy. They finally ran the ball, and that really threw the Stallions off.
So, hell, Adam would have won. Adam would have been the winner of week 5. And we'd have had a 3-way tie at week 4.
Damn it. You also got to remember, too, Dresser Wynn has sat in the backup chair for so long. He's watched so many quarterbacks and he finally got to get out there and display it. He's been on the practice squad for the Rams. There's a Canadian team. I can't remember which one offhand, but he's been in the background and he's been able to watch these quarterbacks. So maybe he'll finally learn something. And the United Football League is the spring football, just football because we love it.
And it's innovative, and they do a lot of out of the box things that are just going to make like the NFL and just the whole sport better.
Broski Bear, is that?
That's one of my guys.
That's your guy.
Yep.
That's one of your big time guys.
Yeah, he's good. What is the UFL? Yep, your internet is off because your sound isn't matching up with your video. Is what they're saying.
Still? Are we back to normal now?
I see it normal, but I don't know what they're seeing on the YouTube.
Well, before, when I mentioned all the spinning, that's when Orlando wrote that.
Okay. But, the fact that the Panthers and the Stallions, I believe Birmingham Stallions are still tied. It's anybody's. Yeah, he says you're good now.
Cool. What are the standings?
Oh, I got them. I got them right here.
Oh my gosh, I feel off today. Holy cow! A week of draft has thrown me into a total background of I don't know what the fudge is going on anymore. I just don't understand. I know I'm going to go way off topic, but I don't understand why the Bears loaded up for Caleb but couldn't load up for Justin Fields.
Ben Johnson's a build in the trenches guy. That's why.
No, this was even before Johnson, though. I mean, this was last year too. They brought in all the wide receivers.
They didn't have an offensive line, Adam. You saw it. And that Ben Johnson said we're going to come in and bolster the offensive line, which is what he had at Detroit.
Yeah. So as of right now, the USFL conference, the Stallions and the Panthers are at a tie for first at 3-2. With the Roughnecks at 2-3 and the Showboats at 1-4, while in the XFL conference, DC Defenders are in first place with the best record at 4-1. Renegades and the Battlehawks are tied at second at 3-2, and the Brahmas are 1-4.
Nice.
As of this week.
Mm-hmm.
The UFL draft is usually February, just to let Orlando know.
I think it's always this time of year, but
What's that, Jim?
I got to check on something. Just a second.
All right. So, who wants to go first? You guys know I'm not the host of this show.
I watched I watched 1.5 quarters of that game, and they led the whole game. I didn't really pay no attention. I was just still exhausted, recovering from an LSU ass whooping from Tennessee the Saturday, but they beat the shit out of them the next day. And watching some NBA playoffs, but I caught all of the third quarter and a little bit of the fourth, and this was the best they've played all season. I wish they'd have played like this all season long. It was good to see them win big. Their first win with Memphis was a tight game. Now we know who the weakest link in the league is, and it's San Antonio. They can't play worth a shit, and that was their best performance all season. I'm gonna give them that.
San Antonio's all defense this year, but they don't have an offense.
I'm gonna try and pull up the stats so I can read some numbers. That was week 5 we just talked. So yeah, there we go.
I think they do have a young coach who could be a star eventually. San Antonio, Peyton Party.
So
well, that was a Sunday matinee too, huh?
Shit. had it all.
Does anyone else find it funny that usually in these UFL games they both have the same amount of drives every game? It's usually about 10 drives per team. Anyone else catch that stat?
Okay, I think I got it. No, god damn it.
Okay, so let's see. We were talking about schedule and what's going on this week, right?
No, we're talking about stats right now for the Roughnecks game against the Brahmas.
Oh,
I used to be able to just type it in and then they had it all ready for me. And I don't have shit. It just want to show me videos and they used to be a thing you click on. Why is it just showing me pictures? I don't want to see photos taken of the game. I want
the Roughnecks defeated the Brahmas 27-3. Oof. I was looking to see if I can get the game log, but
I mean,
Jalen McClellan made his first start for Houston.
you had 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals, right, Mark?
Mhm.
yeah. I'm trying to get it all. What the
Looks
fuck?
like White, Merritt, and then there was a passing touchdown.
So first quarter they had a field goal. They didn't score their first touchdown until the second quarter. So here's the key players in that game. They had Rashad Williams, who in the game had 1 interception, 1 touchdown, and 2 tackles. Shakondre White, who was the running back, 11 attempts for 40 yards, and he did have a touchdown. Some key plays. Houston's first touchdown, White rushed for a 6-yard touchdown. 1 point conversion, no good. Then McClendon stepped back to pass, and he had an incomplete short that left intended for Butler. So that was the 1-point attempt that failed.
so
Who's
they
boss?
asked in the chat. They asked when the UFL draft is.
Yeah, we think it's in February.
Yeah, I think it is in February. I think it's done.
Here we
The
go.
average attendance for all 4 games was up this week. It was 15,000 for all 4 games.
What
So
about
I-
the week we did judge on?
All right. I found what I was looking for. All right. So
Hold on. Jeremy, what were you asking?
What about the attendance in the week that we did give our guesses and stuff for?
Marcus. What
Are you ready
about
for
the
me?
attendance for week 4? Or were we anywhere close?
I'm trying to see where you find the attendance. Where does it show for attendances? Do I got to type in UFL week 4 attendances?
Mhm.
Probably.
Let's see. Let me see what I can get. The only thing I could found is the game between the Showboats and the Panthers. You're talking about week 4, right?
Yep.
They said their attendance was 9,674. And the closest one, hang on, let me
The
make
Price
sure I
is
click
Right.
the closest one was Adam. He said 9,500.
I was just over it at Ben, wasn't I?
I said 6,000. Jamie said 7,000, and you said 11,000.
I said 11. Okay. I knew I said 10 or 11. I couldn't remember.
Right.
Yeah,
It was so long ago, and we did so many shows and we did drafts, and UFL kind of got kicked on the back burner last week. And I'm sorry, guys, but that was sometimes the big game overruns the little game, right?
All right. So the early game, it was the Renegades and the Battlehawks in Arlington. Let me see. Second.
What was the
game?
attendance for that?
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I don't read the wrong one. Okay, the second one. Since it was before I give you the result, I'm gonna say
That
what
was-
everyone said real quick. I said
Okay.
2,000. Adam said 8,500. Jamie said 5,000, and Justin said 12,000. This is for the
You mean
Renegades. Jeremy, I'm sorry. Why did I say Justin?
Probably
The
'cause you're-
attendance. I'm watching Raw probably. The attendance for the Battlehawks and the Renegades in Arlington was 9,614. So Adam got that one too.
Oh man, I'm like running up the stage. What prizes do I win for this one, guys? Two in a
I don't know.
row.
They
Saturday night.
get a Hardy golf clap.
How
All right.
about how about I get the clap Cleveland Gabe Shador?
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They're like, we took our wide receiver to make it our fifth, and then
So-
they got two more in UDFA's.
So Saturday night, Stallions and the Roughnecks. I said 6,000. Adam said 9,500. Jamie said 7,000, and Jeremy said 11,000. The attendance in Houston was 6,613. So technically, Jamie's the closest. Jamie wins that game. And you ready for the big one? This was the Brahmas and the Defenders in DC. I said 10,000. Adam said 12,005. Jamie said 15,000. Jeremy said 10,000. The attendance was 13,142.
And
So
got that one.
Adam got that one too. Adam got 3 out of 4.
Oh, hey. Is Broski talking about Justin Fields when she made
Yes,
that?
he
When
is.
they made that?
Yes, he is.
It's better than watching Aaron Rodgers play on the Jets, though. I mean,
I mean,
Justin Fields can't be any worse.
Well,
put it
all
this
right,
way: it
12,000
took less.
correction, 12,474, but he still got it. So the week
Right.
4 average was 9,593. So here's a cheat sheet. Mike Mitchell at by Mike Mitchell on Twitter posts the attendances every week. So if you follow him on Twitter, you'll get your attendance results each week.
Okay.
So he got a follow from me.
All right.
I should have been following. I should have been following him all season.
Right.
Way easier to look it up that way, ain't it?
Yes, instead of having to Google it. But what I can give you is I found what I was looking for.
I think it's funny that
I think
After
you
5
two still
weeks,
hasn't found what they're looking for.
the best porn name in UFL football, Steel Chambers, still leads the league in tackles.
Zeno
And Frank Glida is second.
Glinda.
All right.
He's a big dude. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
I remember whenever we first started doing this, Jeremy, I did talk to him on Twitter. I didn't talk to him on a podcast, but I did talk to him on Twitter.
And your leading touchdown scorers right now are Jordan Tamu, or however you say it.
Tom, yeah.
He has 11. Bryce Perkins of Michigan is second with 9.
I know the show bunch ain't going to be on there.
All right. So the Roughnecks had a total of the following. So they had 10 total drives, 65 total plays, 273 total yards, 167 total passing yards, 22 completions out of 32 passing attempts. They averaged 5.2 yards per attempt, no passing touchdowns, 106 total rushing yards, 32 rushing attempts, 3.3 yards per rush, and 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 turnover, and 1 interception against the Brahmas.
They really played shutdown football.
Their time of possession was 37 minutes and 10 seconds, while the Brahmas had 22 minutes and 50 seconds.
That's good clock management. I still can't believe that both teams had 10 drives. It just doesn't make sense to me, especially with that time of possession.
One barely had the ball. If you figure it out, they had it for 2 minutes and 30 seconds of possession. The
It's
other
like-
one had it for 3 minutes and 7 seconds of possession.
The Brahmas only had 42 total plays, 2 red zone attempts, but 0 red zone touchdowns. Where Roughnecks had 2 attempts, but they got 1 out of 2. They had 41 total passing yards and 77 total rushing yards, 2 turnovers and 2 interceptions. The Brahmas, that's horrific numbers, and they averaged 5.5 yards per rush, and they had 14 rushing attempts for a total of 77 yards.
And
That's good play by the Roughnecks, Marcus.
No, this is San Antonio I'm talking about. And they've had
I said that's
10
good defense by the Roughnecks.
10 completed passes out of 24 attempts for the San Antonio.
Yep. And right now, your QBR leaders in the league, if you want to know that, is Bryce Perkins at 1 with a 107.1, Dresser Wynn at 96.2, Luis Perez
Dresser,
87.7.
does Dresser Wynn count? Because he's only played one game.
I'm just going by what they say because they're only 5 games in, so yeah, it counts.
Okay, there's only 8 games, but
But,
all right.
Luis Perez of Arlington has a 87.7.
King of Spring.
Jordan Tamu has 79.6. Jalen McClendon had a 74. Manny Wilkins had a 73.2. Matt Corral has a 71.7. Kellen Mond, 69.1.
Kellen Mond should just run the ball.
That's what Jared Garantano in when he came in.
What the hell are you doing? Sorry, my dog's being really weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But leading the
Man.
league in touchdowns by quarterbacks for passing is Jordan Tamu, Bryce Perkins, Matt Corral, Luis Perez, Nolan Harrison, EJ Perry, Case Cook, and Kellen Mond are all tied with 2 from Nolan Harrison to Kellen Mond. But 1 and 2 is Tamu has 9 and Bryce Perkins has 6. Matt Corral has 4.
does anyone love listening to Mark Sanchez be the commentator?
I know what's his face, the so-called professor of the draft. He had a shitty outturn if he thought that Shadir was going to be number 1 overall.
We already talked about him, Mel Kiper.
Yeah, Mel Kiper was stroking out.
Mel needs to hang it up if he thought that Shadir would have been number 1 overall.
But it wasn't just Mel.
He should have
every-
hung it up. He should have hung it up years ago.
We complained
Mel
about
should-
it on the round 1 mock draft.
It was Mel Kiper, dude.
But no lie, out of everyone that got drafted in the first round, I only got 4 correct. And I got to pull this up so I don't get no fucking names wrong too. But out of the people I said going in the first round of this team and that team, I only had 4 correct. I said, oh fuck, I clicked on the wrong thing. Hold on. I said Cam Ward would go number 1 overall. Will Campbell would go to the Patriots. Ashton Genie go to the Raiders, and Tyler Warren go to the Colts. That was the only ones I got correct in the first round. Everybody else was just a shocking surprise.
I didn't get my Lions correct, but I know for a fact that I was not upset with the pick because Aleem McNeil, with his injury, is going to be out the week 6 to week 9. And I don't trust that backup named Brandon Roy to be a starter.
Now, if you're in my sake, obviously Tyler Shuck will most likely be the QB1 next season. But if Derek Carr come back from injury, does he take his spot back, or do they just trade him to another team?
Speaking of Derek Carr, I feel awful for him today. He lost his kid. He had a miscarriage. His wife did. I don't know if you saw that.
I don't know. Derek Carr's out for the year, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, he's out with a shoulder injury. So Tyler Shuck will most likely be the starter next season.
And then your backup, Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, which I was relying on him to be our guy. They're gonna, if they get rid of somebody, they're most likely gonna get rid of DiNucci. I think they keep Jake Hayner. They don't have Taysom Hill at quarterback anymore. They officially have him as a tight end, but we still got like Juwan Johnson and Foster Moreau and all them playing tight end. But here's my thing: everybody's since Shedeur got drafted, you got Joe Flacco, Sean Watson, Kenny Pickett, and then you also got Dylan Gabriel.
Shedeur Gabriel, I think, may get a chance to play at the end of next year for the Browns, because if you 17-game season, you got a lot more injuries in the league. And there was a stat last year that said out of all the draft picks in the 2024 class, 63% that went on day 3 or on the draft either made the team or ended up starting or ended up getting on the field.
So I
And
think
i.e. Spencer Rattler was one of them.
they're going to trade Kenny Pickett. Sean Watson's going to jail. Flacco, I think, stays and kind of teaches Dylan and Shadir. But after that, I think he'll either retire or they'll probably trade him after next season.
Yeah. But like I said, day 1 and day 3 picks back in the day, unless your name was Tom Brady, it really didn't matter. But now, like I said, with 17 games.
Whoa. Go
Can
ahead,
I
run off
finish,
some.
Stu, before you interrupt me?
Yeah, run some Steelers. Run some Steelers in that deep draft, wide receivers.
Right, but I'm saying it's more right. But that was also back when there wasn't as many injuries. I'm saying it mattered, but you had to get lucky to basically get that opportunity. Now it's 17 games, and like I said, more injuries and possibly going to 18 games. You really have to hit on your late round picks. Even if you're a bad team, you can hit on your late day picks because that's the way the league is now.
So early, I'm gonna say super pre-early prediction. I'm gonna give you some names or random name or say random.
Wait, what are we talking UFL or are we going NFL?
I got one more question that involves the NFL. So I'm gonna give you 3 names, plus I'm gonna say a random person. You can name anybody else. I'm talking about someone that just got drafted. Travis Hunter, Ashton Jenney, Shadir Sanders, or somebody else, rookie of the year for the upcoming season. I said Jenney.
Rookie of the year.
I said Jenney. They all think Shadir is going to be rookie of the year now, if he gets the starting position.
Mm-hmm. I say Jenney.
I hope it's Jenney.
Yeah, I think Genty has the best chance to start, but I think Omarion Hampton's going to make the biggest impact on his team.
I know Jenney's going to be is now the second highest paid running back, and he hadn't even started playing yet. And I'm not complaining, and I love Jenney.
That's on a rookie. That's on a rookie deal too.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
But I got love for Hampton.
My
I
son
thought
is
him
loving the Will Howard pick, baby.
Well, where did he go? Didn't he go to the Steelers?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I like it because that means they're not going to sign Aaron Rodgers.
When he fell to day 3, we started calling him Shaduki Sanders.
Shabuzi Sanders?
Shaduki.
Did
like
anyone
that.
else? All right, while we're on this Shador, did anyone else see that Colorado put a huge drape over his retired number at the stadium?
No, I didn't see that.
No, but I know what's the defensive coordinator for the Falcons. His son, who's an Ole Miss student, frat boy, douchebag, was the one who prank called Shadir. He stole his dad's iPad.
I don't understand because this happened last year too. I forget the guy's name, but they were prank calling him too last year.
So this ain't just because it's Shadir Sanders. They're making a big deal out of it. It could have been Caleb Fingernail, Peyton Ass Williams, and no one would have cared.
No one cared last year. I don't understand.
Because it's Shadir Sanders, Deion's son. We have to acknowledge Deion's son like he's the tribal chief.
I'm not acknowledging him.
I'm not either.
I have not been a fan of this guy all year long. What makes you think?
I would have. Now, if the Saints would have picked him up, I would have. But now that we don't have him, we got Tyler Shuck. I'm acknowledging Shuck. I'm giving him a chance. They're all shit talking Shuck, saying they should have got Shadir or Jackson Dart or somebody that. Yeah, I'm giving Shuck a chance. If he does a bad game, then I'm gonna say bench him and put in Spencer Rattler.
Oh yeah, that's who it was. It was Cooper DeJean.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bad motherfucker. He picked 6 damn Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl
on his birthday.
There were three. Him, Saquon Barkley, and another Eagles player all had a birthday on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
I think the other one was I don't know who the other one was, but there were 3 Eagles players that
And guess what? 2 of them were born on Sunday, Saquon Barkley and Cooper DeJean, because Saquon Barkley was born in 1997, and Cooper DeJean was born in 2003.
I was born on a Friday.
Huh?
I was born on a Friday.
Yep.
Thursday.
February 8th, 2025 was a Sunday. February 8th, 1997. Or February 10th. Well, it was February 8th. The game was 10th. What was it? February 8th.
No.
February 9th, right? Yeah. February 9th was a Sunday on Saquon's birthday in 1997. And February 9th, 2003 was on a Sunday, and that's when Cooper DeJean was born.
Yeah, February 8th is a bad day for me. Thank God it was the 9th. February 8th, 2016, after that Super Bowl between the Fail Camps and the Patriots. That was the
when the Saints won. I think the Saints won the Super Bowl. I think it was February 7th, 2010, or it was 8th. It was 7th or the 8th. I forgot.
It was the 7th.
Against
Anyway,
the pick. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeremy.
That was the night my oldest son died.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
That sucks, buddy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ugh.
How many total kids you have?
I have 5. That's the only reason I'm still here. If the other 4 weren't here, I'd be gone.
Then you wouldn't have us.
Yeah, I pretty much.
Well, we're glad you're here, Jeremy. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here too.
You've been through some shit. You've been through the fires. You've been through
The Flames. Through the Fire and Flames from Guitar Hero 3. Last song of the game. Last song of the game, you got to beat it once to unlock that song. But anyway,
that Dragon Force song, yeah.
Jeremy, real quick, I read this today while you're here. Does Patrick Kane get another 1-year deal?
I hope not.
He had a good season.
He had a good season, but at the same time, we need to get more youth, more speed.
Yep.
He's getting to the point where he goes in and out of the lineup at times. And when he's out, we go flat. So
I
it
was
is what it
curious.
is.
I saw that today. Anyway, yeah. So should we talk about this Defenders game against the Renegades?
Yep.
Go ahead, Berman. Go ahead, rip it up. I put you on the spot.
Sorry. I think it was a great day for it was a back and forth game with the Renegades basically leading the whole way until the very end of the game with Jordan Ta'amu took over like a boss and it hit Chris Rollins for the game-winning touchdown. Blake Williams being a shell of his father, sending the blitz at the end, getting an interception at the game. Defenders go to 4-1 on the year. They beat the Renegades 37-33.
Nice.
And the Renegades fall to 3-2.
Jordan did have 3 touchdowns and an interception in that game, Jimmy. Very, very good stats finally. It's like he watched the show whenever I was ripping him a new asshole on week 2. Since week 2, he's been on fire after that week 2 horrible game he played. Just saying. Maybe I lit the fire.
I don't know. Maybe it's just Jordan. That was a show back in 2007, a Nickelodeon show, Just Jordan.
So, all right.
Prediction
Jeremy,
time?
what's that?
Is it prediction time yet?
We can look into week 6.
Let's see.
Friday Night Lights. Should be a good one. Renegades Battlehawks in St. Louis on Fox.
Game of the week.
Jeremy, every time one of your peeps logs on, they think we're talking Detroit draft. I love it.
Yeah, I know. Dandy Nuts. I love that guy. I love his name.
Me too.
I got another guy that comes in and gun guy, when he hopped in, he goes, "Take off your pants." I was like, "What the hell?"
But tomorrow night we will be breaking this draft down a little more. Everyone going to be there tomorrow night, or what's going on?
I'll be there.
Yep. After my show, after my baseball show, yep.
Right? Are you going by yourself tomorrow, or is Joe back?
Oh no, I'm not doing it tomorrow. We're doing it next week.
All right? Isn't Joe still on the cruise?
Yep.
Marcus, you joining us tomorrow night, or?
I'll be joining you guys tomorrow night for open
Yes,
mic.
I'll pop in.
All right. I'm going to message Gina again, see if she wants to jump in.
Yeah, she was fun.
there.
So y'all already picked this game already?
No, we just started. I just saw Dandy Nuts was here and got back to NFL talk, because every time one of Jeremy's followers logs on, they always ask about the Detroit football right out the gate. I love it.
And I'll tell you what I love the most, because I actually talked about this with you on the mock draft night, Adam. I was hoping that if we took a receiver, it would be a big bodied receiver with speed. And Isaac Tesla is that. The only thing I didn't like was all the draft capital we gave up to get him.
Yeah, you guys moved up from 166 to 146, I think.
Yep.
Wait, to take who?
To take
Tall wide
Tesla.
receivers like 6'5".
He's 6'4", 215 pounds. He ran a 4.40. He has a 10'6" broad jump and a 36-inch vertical.
Mm-hmm.
He scored a 9.92 on the RAS scale.
What's this guy's name?
Isaac Tesla. Teslaa.
Who's watching TV?
Me. Do I need to lower it?
I can hear it.
Well, he already made a big pipe bomb and said he's a bald motherfucker on Netflix, calling out Gunther. And he wants to fight Gunther. So, but if we're making picks for this first game, I went ahead and took the Battlehawks just because it's at home in the dome.
Give me the Battlehawks. Caw. There we go. More excitement.
Jeremy,
All
how do
right.
you spell this guy's name?
Isaac, Isaac, and then it's capital Teslaa.
So I'm also, well, after we all make our predictions, I'm gonna do attendances after that. So
Okay.
just got Adam and Jeremy left to pick for this one. So Jamie and I said St. Louis. What you guys got?
Oh, we did talk. This is that I was asking about last week. About the ones we didn't do, but I know we went 2-2 on that. St. Louis versus St. Louis is what team again? Because I only know the Panthers for sure and the Roughnecks, but that's the Battlehawks.
Yeah, Renegades and the Battlehawks.
Yeah, I'll take the Battlehawks. There, you're right.
Are you saying I should go all in on this guy? I'm taking Battlehawks.
All right, so that's Battlehawks across the board. But let's predict attendances in St. Louis. Since it's that big of a game, I'm gonna say 20,000.
It's in St. Louis.
I know.
Yeah, it's in the dome.
They get more than 20,000, dude. It's St. Louis.
Yeah, but we haven't had that yet.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go with 10,500.
10,000.
St. Louis gets like 30 to.
What are you saying then, James?
35.
Speak it out.
Huh?
What's your prediction?
30,000. You guys are saying only 10,000 in St. Louis. They get the most fans out of anybody else.
Okay.
All right.
He
I'm
said
gonna go.
30.
I'm gonna go 20. I'm gonna go 25.
Okay, so 20,000 for me, 25,000 for Adam, 30,000 for Jamie, 10,500.
You guys
for
do
Jeremy.
know they have the most fans in the league. They get the highest attendance, St. Louis, right? They get
Yeah,
more
I
than
know.
20,000.
Jeremy, real quick, is this kid gonna be possibly starting? Sorry, the waiver wire's tomorrow, and I have the chance to get him.
He's going to be a wide receiver 3 or 4, so he'll get snaps. I predict he'll probably be like a 40 to 50 reception guy, somewhere between 400 and 600 yards, 5 touchdowns.
To go like $10 on him, not real money.
Sure. That'd be good.
All right. Well, now there's only one game on Saturday, and it's at 11 a.m. Once again, Adam and I's teams are playing each other like they did week 3. This time it's in Houston at TDCU Stadium or the Cage. The Memphis Showboats at the Houston Roughnecks. And I think it's on ESPN. I might be wrong.
Who wants to go first?
It's on ABC.
And it's who again? Which ones?
Showboats and the Roughnecks. A rematch from week 3.
I think the Showboats are going to continue.
All right. You got Memphis. Jamie.
Hey, give me the Boats, man. I think this is the week they get 2 in a row after starting out 0-4. Or get them, or as I call them, the Memphis Maulers, baby.
And I'm picking my Roughnecks, and Adam, I think, is stinking with his Showboats.
Absolutely, why not?
So I'm gonna say 4,000.
I got the lighthouse hat on tonight, boys. So the light's on finally.
I'm gonna say 5,500.
Jamie says 5,500. I say 4,000.
Marcus, what's going on? What's going on in Houston that game? Anything like are the Astros home or the Dino home?
Let's take a look. So let's start. Well, the series with the Rockets and the Warriors will most likely be done by then, so there'll probably be no basketball. The Houston Dynamo are in LA that weekend, so they're going to be out of town. And the Astros, let me go to May. The Astros are at they're in Chicago against the White Sox, so they have a chance to fill up and get more fans. Everyone's out of town. The Dynamo's in LA. The Astros are in Chicago.
I'm going capacity. I'm going sold out because of that game they had last week, 27-3, getting the fans a little excited. Maybe want to go check it out on a Friday night. Nothing else going on.
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
It's a Saturday morning game. It's
so
now you do realize
maybe not now. I thought it was Friday.
You do realize TDCU Stadium's capacity is 40,000. You think 40,000 fans are gonna come at 11 o'clock?
No, I'm gonna go more in the upper.
Actually, it's not 40,000 anymore, Marcus. I think they upped it up to 60,000 now because of they're in the Big 12.
All their construction is not complete yet. Before it was 40,000. Now, if they get those seats completed by next season, then yeah, they can be about 50, 60,000. But I know there's construction going on. They're building some more stands and some more suites. But give me your
Rich, just to let everyone know, Rich is watching tonight, and he thinks Dugan might get a training camp invite.
I think so too.
That would be great. So, what's your attendance for this game, Adam?
85.
8,500. All right, Jeremy.
Talking about DC and Michigan?
Houston and Memphis.
Oh, Houston and Memphis? 7,500.
Fair enough. All right, then doubleheader on Sunday. Let me go back to it.
DC the first Michigan at noon.
Yep, and that's at Ford Field. 11 a.m. kickoff on ESPN2. I'll take this one first. DC's hot. I think it'll be a close game, but I'm going to take the Defenders on the road. That'll be a close game.
Who are they playing?
Michigan.
Panthers.
I have to start going with the other division now, so I'm going Defenders.
All right, Jamie obviously taking the Snake.
Actually, I'm going to take Michigan at home upset.
All right,
I'm doing the same.
So 2 versus 2. All right, attendance at Ford Field Sunday morning. I'll say 9,500 at Ford Field.
10K.
10K, huh?
10,500. Cause you're easy like Sunday morning.
All right,
I was
Adam.
gonna say, Jeremy, do they treat their Sunday football differently, or will we see a tailgating crowd and possibly right around? I'm gonna say 15. I'm gonna say they're gonna fill it a little bit more this game. It's
Okay.
a big game. It's a big game for them.
So what you saying? What's your numbers?
15.
15,000?
15,000.
I thought he said 1,500, but okay.
Yeah.
1,500. Okay.
All right. So WB needs to stop this because it makes it worse. So,
We're guessing the Josh McNally. Yes, we're guessing the attendance that's going to be at the game.
Yes, we know SummerSlam's going to be at MetLife first weekend of August, first 2 nights SummerSlam, and I don't like that Cardi B's hosting it.
Why not? She's such a upstanding individual.
Yeah, her body is, not her music. Her music sucks. I'll take Glorilla over Cardi B any day.
You don't like
Oh.
Oh.
All right. One last game. Another. So 3 out of the 4 games are going to be indoors, and this is the last. No, take that back. My mistake. This is in DC. Brahma's Stallions in Birmingham. This outdoor stadium, by the way.
I just got canceled, folks. Sorry.
That was funny.
What the fuck are
I'm
we
a-
getting canceled on?
I got the Stallions in a comeback win over the Brahmas.
Tell you later, Anna.
I got the Stallions over the Brahmas. Adam?
Who you got?
Man. I think the Stallions are going to pull this one out. I don't want to say it. Something in my gut is saying San Antonio is going to win this game.
Maybe if it was in San Antonio, I'd give them a shot, but it's in Birmingham. They're just as passionate as DC fans and St. Louis fans. So I'm
You know
thinking
what, though?
Birmingham.
I'm giving San Antonio. Birmingham goes down again because the young Peyton Party, my young son, is going to step up and lead this team to victory as coach.
All
What the
right,
fuck is
Jeremy.
my son talking about?
I'm going to go San Antonio too.
All
think
right.
they're just going to get their mouth smacked.
All right. And attendances. Let me
I'm saying it's a
pull
full
up.
house. I'm
Hold
saying
on.
it's a sold out game. Whatever their max
Oh,
is.
hold on.
Are the Commanders
put-
building a
I'll
new
just put-
stadium? Is that what's going on here, Josh? What did you call
Yeah,
me? What?
they agreed to the deal. Now it has to get
Get
passed, and I think it will.
Everyone's
But
complaining
they're
because
planning
now
to build it out of timber, though, which is kind of interesting.
everyone's complaining because they're also getting a roof or a skyline roof. Now everyone's getting indoor stadiums now. Birmingham's capacity is 47,100.
They want us to host a Super Bowl,
They're
but go
not
ahead.
filling that.
No, I'm going to say 12-5, Mark.
12,500. Okay.
Yeah. Phoenix, what are you doing besides like being annoying? Because I'm not
Jay-
talking to you right now.
Jamie, what's your
Get over
tickets
here.
for Birmingham?
13,000.
13,000.
Get over here, monkey shit.
Jeremy, monkey shit. Jeremy, what's your attendance?
What are you doing?
I'm going low. I'm going to say 9,752.
It's going down, down, down tonight. Uh-oh.
That-
It's going
I'm going
down,
for an
down,
exact
down
number.
tonight.
That is the
Uh-oh.
most random numbers you gave me. I love it. Are you like playing the lotto or something?
Yeah, I'm trying to pick the lotto numbers.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm
what's
gonna
that?
go.
Come
I'm
on.
gonna go second lowest. I'll say 10,500.
Well, baby.
There's the puppy.
Yeah, there's the puppy.
I'm gonna say 10,500 and for Birmingham.
Oh, boy. Long day.
So
You
glad
got a
we
little
caught up.
shit.
I'm so glad we caught up.
Oh, yeah. All caught up.
We're good. We're all caught up, and it's an hour.
Yeah, we did it.
Woo!
We did it. We
did it.
But
We've been around the block and came back.
But at the same time, yes, he's going to have to fill Tom Kennedy's shoes. But where does Tom Kennedy usually end up? He is the cockroach of Detroit Lions football. He ends up on the practice squad and somehow gets called up because of injuries throughout the season.
I remember whatever you said made me laugh about like a monkey fucking a wrench or something like that.
No, like a monkey fucking a football.
Monkey fucking a football. I love that.
Oh man.
Tom Kennedy has been with the Lions since 2018 as a UDFA every year.
All right, you boys are gonna handle for tomorrow right now. Are we gonna go through every team's draft, or how do we want to do this?
I think we should just go through like our teams, grade those, and then just do who had best and who had worst draft. What
Okay.
do you think?
I wanted to leave it up to you because I was gonna make notes of all the teams and all the players, and I was like, I'm gonna ask first because I think if we do it that way, it could take forever.
I'm sticking with the Saints and the Texans picks. They each had 9 picks, though.
Okay, Jamie,
Um,
don't even tell me you weren't fucking paying attention. You fuck nut.
oh,
You have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
what were you talking about?
We're gonna recap our team's draft
Oh.
picks.
Oh, I'll do that. Sure.
You're gonna recap the Bills picks, which all I remember was they drafted a cornerback from Kentucky in the first round.
And
Dude, I love this kid, man. I love this kid.
And
He's
they,
energetic.
yeah.
Oh.
And they beefed up their interior D line. Oh,
Save
and
it for tomorrow. Save it
Yep.
for tomorrow. I was just asking what we wanted to do. But anyway, go ahead, James. Kick it off. How do people? Oh no, we were saved you last. Marcus, go ahead.
Well, you can right below you. You could find me. That's my personal Twitter at MarcusLee337. My new show that dropped yesterday and was successful, On the Go, where I got
Very
teams,
good show, by the way.
not hoes, in different area codes from the 713 to the 337, 225, and the 504. Find them on Twitter at _TXLA. Next episode, once I think of something, I might do something on the Astros. I'm gonna drop it possibly Friday. I got nothing going on Friday. I might drop an episode on Friday, but I will guarantee you there will be an episode May 15th where I'm going to reveal the Saints and Texans 2025 schedules plus the primetime schedules for each week.
Sweet.
Thursday night,
Sweet.
Sunday night, Monday night, holiday games, Thanksgiving games, international games, whether if it's in London, Germany. Are they going back to Brazil? I don't know. Are they going to Japan? I don't know. Like, I heard they were supposed to go to these other countries, but
No,
I
the
thought
Steelers are going overseas. I know that. We're going to Ireland.
Oh, there's a game in
Yeah.
Ireland. I thought they said there was a game in Paris, but I think I was digressing.
No,
but
we're
Paris
playing.
won
We're
the
playing
game.
in Ireland, and I don't know who we're playing yet, but I know tickets are already
that-
going to season ticket holders.
So that's the Steelers in Ireland and at least the Jaguars in London because Jacksonville always goes to London.
Right.
And someone's going to Germany. I thought it was New England, or did they already go to Germany?
No, Germany was last year for the first time, I believe, and it was Tampa 2 years ago. Tampa and Kansas City 2 years ago. Last year was a crappy game, I think, Atlanta.
Well, I know they learned their lesson. They're not going to put 2 teams in green going to Brazil wherever they played at. Their rivals are green, and they don't wear green in that part of Rio. So
Well, they fucked up the first round.
Yeah, you had 2 teams in green going over there, the Eagles and the Packers.
Right.
You could have brought the Chiefs over there. You could have brought the Bills.
They should have
the
brought.
Steelers.
They should have brought their throwback jerseys, the brown and blue for the Packers.
Oh, the meat packer uniforms, and then the Eagles could have wore their black uniforms, the blackouts.
Right. Jeremy, how people get you, buddy?
Well, you can find me on Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions. You can also find me on the Huddle Sports Network. You can find me whenever we do the UFL show and the Tuesday Sports Talking It show right here on Driving to the Top Productions. And you can also find me on the Huddle Sports Network on Amazon, on Roku.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jay, here's some of my fucking jerseys, Jay. I know I brought them out a little bit more today. I was hoping you would have been here to see them, but anyway.
Oh, that also means you can also find me and Rich together doing Wrestle Talk.
Right.
Or I don't know if what we're calling it. We're either calling it Wrestle Talk or Driving to the Ring. Y'all make that pick. I'm just here
You
to
couldn't
talk
go a
wrestling.
show without Jay saying that.
or get in. We're talking wrestling.
I got off baby duty late.
In other words, that baby didn't go to sleep. Oh, there you go, Marcus. You're getting outside traction with Driving to the Ring.
Driving to the Ring, or I've called it 2 different names, so I don't even know what the name of it really is. But whatever it's called, I'll promote it.
I think should get driven in the ring. I think should get driven in the ring. Mel Kiper.
Sure, we'll talk about all. Dude, it's not just Mel Kiper. It's every fucking media outlet.
Even
It's
Stephen A.
every media outlet. Jamie, it was everywhere. I couldn't even watch the fucking.
Actually, the college game day draft wasn't so bad. That was all Pat McAfee and Saban and all those guys. I watched them. But
College game day ain't gonna be the same after week 1 when Corso retires. They might as
I
well
love
retire
when
their
college game day does the draft though.
Yeah, because they
All right, you can get me at Sports Talking It on Twitter, at Driving to the Top on Twitter. Yeah, Jay, you got here a little late, buddy. We're done for the day, but we'll be back tomorrow at 9:00 if you want to join us. Hopefully, the baby goes to sleep, and we'll be talking draft on open mic tomorrow. Draft recap, we'll call it. At Sports Talking It on Twitter, at Driving to the Top on the YouTube channel. Obviously, hit that like, subscribe button. Leave some comments. Jamie.
As always, you can follow me, yours truly, at Bill's Chat 1 at Bill's Mafia Chat, and also at Jamie Malloy, the unbiased journalist, at DJ Dog Tags on X, theforkball.com, and stadiumrant.com, where I write about all sports. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment, ring the bell for notifications. Thank you guys very much for listening. And for more content shows like this, and first, just program alert, just to remind Joe Dalio and I, our Subway Conversation Chat listeners, we will not be doing a show tomorrow due to Joe having other commitments. But we will be back on Tuesday, May 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
Tuesday, May 5th. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. May 6th is Tuesday because I get 3 teeth worked on May 8th, and our graduation is May 9th. And I'm going to the Dynamo Sounders game on May 10th.
So you can tune us. You can tune us back. We'll be back on Tuesday, May 6th. At 8 o'clock. So don't forget to tune in for that episode, and don't forget to tune in to our login. Don't forget to listen to our open mic show. Got it. Tomorrow at 9:00 p.m. As Adam said, we'll be discussing our draft picks from the NFL and everything. So for more content like this on Driving to the Top Productions, please visit our YouTube page, Twitch stream, Facebook stream, X stream, wherever you consume your podcast. I'm Jamie Malloy, and this has been a Week 5 recap of the UFL season. Thank you very much for listening on Driving to the Top Productions.